At 60, people think they know Keanu Reeves' story. The internet's favorite sad gentleman who survived more loss than most and kept his kindness intact. That version is half true and half myth. The real picture is heavier, sharper, and somehow more hopeful. Born in Beirut, raised in Toronto, and famous across the planet, Keanu's legend isn't that tragedy made him. It's that tragedy that tested him, again and again, and he still chose decency. Before Hollywood, there was a kid who moved so often that schools felt like revolving doors. Dyslexia turned reading into a fight. The classroom never felt like home. He cycled through 4 high schools, got expelled from one, and found confidence where everything finally made sense: on the ice. In goal, he was calm, reflexive, impossible. The wall. Then an injury cracked that dream, and the door slammed. Most people would mourn the path not taken. He just went looking for another one. But the next door came with a cost: a friend who matched the quiet pace Keanu lives at. On Halloween night, 1993, outside the Viper Room, River OD'd at 23. There's no poetic spin to put on that sentence. It was the first deep cut that never healed, the kind that changes what a person accepts as normal. After that, you can hear a hush in the way Keanu moves through the world. He doesn't mistake fame for safety. He doesn't mistake crowds for closeness. And heartbreak wasn't done with him yet. He had found the future again: a partner, Jennifer Syme, and a daughter on the way. In late December 1999, their baby girl, Ava Archer Syme Reeves, was stillborn. Grief like that doesn't fade. It lingers in the corners of every room. The relationship buckled. He has never turned himself into a charity brand, but in 2009, he acknowledged what he usually leaves unspoken: a private foundation helping children's hospitals and cancer research without his name stamped all over it. That's real. What isn't real is the viral claim that he donated 70% of his Matrix money to leukemia research. His publicist debunked it, and fact-checkers corroborated that the story is internet fiction. The truth is less memeable and more Keanu. Steady help, no spotlight. And the kindness shows up in smaller places too. When John Wick 4 wrapped, he sat his core stunt team down to dinner and handed each of them an engraved Rolex Submariner, a thank you can wear for the rest of your life. Years earlier, after the grueling mayhem of The Matrix Reloaded, he bought Harley-Davidsons for the stunt crew who absorbed the hits with him. This is his pattern: respect for the workers who make the impossible look easy, not a headline stunt. In 2014, his home was hit twice in 3 days, 2 separate intrusions that turned private life into a punchline. He stayed calm, cooperated with police, and moved on. Nearly a decade later, masked burglars smashed a window, and a 2023 break-in made news again. One strange epilogue: the universe he helped build keeps expanding. Ballerina landed in 2025 as a John Wick spin-off, with Keanu's presence stitching the world together. Lionsgate then did the thing fans kept daring them to do, officially moving John Wick 5 forward, with Keanu back despite the Chapter 4 ambiguity. At the same time, a long-prayed-for sequel reignited. Constantine 2 is in active development with Francis Lawrence. And because he likes surprising people, he stepped into pure comedy. Aziz Ansari's Good Fortune, where Keanu plays, of all things, an angel who's... In 2024, the Saturn Awards created a new honor in the name of his late friend and co-star, the Lance Reddick Legacy Award. The very first one went to Keanu. For talent, yes, but more importantly, for character. He used the moment to talk about Lance, crediting him for how much people love John Wick. That's Keanu in one scene. Turn a spotlight into a mirror and make sure it lands on someone else. And in the quiet moments, life kept blooming. He's not alone. Since 2019, he's been publicly with artist and author Alexandra Grant, a partnership that looks from the outside like 2 makers doing life side by side. Galleries, premieres, dinners with friends, long motorcycle rides, and the occasional hand-in-hand red carpet that sets the internet on fire precisely because it's so normal. The headlines call it rare PDA. Maybe we should just call it joy. Which brings us to the myth versus the man. He kept showing up. He kept thanking the people who make movies possible. He kept his giving private, even when louder stories would have bought him more applause. He kept working, changing gears, finding new ways to tell stories. He kept choosing tenderness in a business that rewards the opposite. That's not sad. That's strength with soft edges. Audiences don't just love him because he's cool on a motorcycle or unreal with a pencil in his hand. We love him because he makes space for our own losses. He never performs grief for attention, and he never runs from it either. When he moves through a crowd, he doesn't pretend the world is safe. He just refuses to be unkind. That stance, open, steady, undramatic empathy, is why he became the internet's favorite stranger. Not because he's perfect, because he's patient. Long before Pencil Fu and Suit Fu, there was Bass Fu. Keanu met drummer Robert Mailhouse in the early 90s, started jamming, and Dogstar was born, an alt-rock trio with Brett Domrose on vocals, guitar, and Keanu holding down low end. This wasn't a vanity act slapped together for headlines. It grew out of small room jams, dive gigs, and a willingness to be just the bassist, not the movie star. Dogstar cut the EP Quattro Formaggi, 1996, the debut album Our Little Visionary, 1996, largely released in Japan, and Happy Ending, 2000, then toured hard, opening nights that sometimes included surreal moments like Weezer's first gig sharing the bill and even a notorious Metal Fest slot where the crowd literally threw trash at them. He kept playing anyway, that's the point. After their 2002 Japan shows, Dogstar quietly folded so life and careers could breathe. Keanu and Mailhouse slid into a short-lived side project, Becky, with guitarist Pauly Costa and vocalist Rebecca Lord. They wrote, gigged, and even landed TV theme work. Another reminder that music for Keanu wasn't a detour. It was a parallel lane. No giant album cycle, no celebrity PR machine. Just another room, another set list, another night trying to get 4 people to breathe like one instrument. Then the door creaked open again. In 2020, the old trio started jamming. By 2022, they said the quiet part out loud, "We're back." Bottle Rock. 2023 was the first public proof, and on October 6, 2023, they dropped a full new album, Somewhere Between the Power Lines and Palm Trees, led by the upbeat single, Everything Turns Around. They toured North America and Japan, kept playing into 2024, and even penciled in 2025 dates like a one-off at Modesto's Gallo Center. Through it all, Keanu kept describing why bass fits him. He loves being part of the chorus, not the spotlight. That's the connective tissue across his whole life: movies, music, generosity, the instinct to support. People like to say tragedy made Keanu. It didn't. It tried to break him. What made him is the choice he repeated: quiet generosity over loud gestures, work over spectacle, humanity over myth. At 60 to 61, the headline isn't that he endured. The headline is that he creates anyway. Movies, friendships, routines, little pockets of care. That's the part worth copying. If this hit you in a real place, tell me your moment. The scene, the story, the interview, where you realized there was more to Keanu than the meme. And if you want to follow up on the Wick 5 updates, ballerina Easter eggs, or how Constantine 2 is shaping up, tap subscribe. We'll track it together.